The next presentation is by Sidra Nazeer from the University of Auburn. And Sidra is going to talk about the research on the use in aquaculture. You have the floor, Sidra.
Everyone, I'm Sidra Nazeer and I'm from Auburn University. I'm a PhD student in Dr. Davis Nutrition Lab. So today the topic of my presentation is use of high protein distilled grains with yeast in practical diets for the fish, which is catfish and tilapia as well as in shrimp's diet. So, as we all know that there has been a considerable interest to replace the fish meal or the poultry meal towards the plant-based proteins, like animal source-based protein. So, there are different type of plant-based protein that one is very good and also has the good nutritional profile, which is soybean meal, and but it has some anti-nutritional factors as well. Besides the soybean meal, there is another plant-based protein which we call as the distilled dried grains with solubles like DDGS, and it is from the ethanol industry, like the co-product of ethanol industry. The most popular grain source is corn. Other sources are wheat, sorghum, and barley. Uh, it is very good source of protein and the alternative use instead of the fish meal and the poultry meal, but it has some limitations, like it is limiting in lysine, which is the essential amino acid. So as we know that the ethanol industry is continue to grow, and they are making the different byproducts in the form of different like wet distilled dried grains or the dry distilled dried grains. So like they are forming with different technology, and the process are going to be modified to form different new products, which we call the byproducts or co-product with this ethanol industry. So as you can see over here, like these are the grain-based ingredients or the products, which is going to be increased till 2027. So it is in a demand, like the ethanol industry is making in different products, and we as a nutritionist or in different industries like poultry, aquaculture, or swine, they are using these ingredients, and obviously they are making in with the diets, modified it, or with the addition of their amino acid, or like they are making the good diets for the animals. So as the ethanol industries continue to flourish, they are making different products with modified form of the technology. So you can see over here, there are different type of advancements, or you can say the different type of DDGS with different processing condition. And this is first, we know that everyone knows that traditional DDGS, which ranges protein content 28 to 32%, and the lipid ranges 8 to 12, but it has high fiber content. Then we have the high protein distilled grains. Next, we have the lipid extracted DDGS as well. And the most important now, we have like very recent form of the DDGS, and very like make with the high technology. This is called the high protein distilled grains with yeast in it. So we named as high protein like 40Y, which is 40% protein in it, and Y stands for yeast. It is made like with the specialized use of the sedicanters, fermenting it, removing solubles from it, and separating the corn fiber so that we can get the high protein content in that one, and also with yeast in it, as yeast is a good enhancer of the it can increase the fish growth, also immune system and gut health. So this is very good ingredient we used in our different trials. So this is the approximate composition of all the ingredients which we used in our, you can say, different trials. Like we use poultry meal, soybean meal, corn protein concentrate, CPC, and this is AHP40Y, or as well as this is like AHP50Y, that is 50% protein in it, and this one is the 40% protein in it. So you can see the protein in different of these ingredients, and also lysine and methionine, which we have to consider as an essential amino acid. So in this HP40Y and 50Y, lysine is little bit limiting as compared to poultry meal, or you can say the soybean meal, but it's not like this the issue, because we can supplement it in making or modifying the diets when we make it. So before going to our latest ingredient like HP40Y and the 50Y, I would like to tell you that we conducted different experiment in different years in our lab, Dr. Davis Nutrition Lab, regarding the different DDGS like AHP, high protein DDGS, traditional DDGS, lipid extracted DDGS. So we have some results and the diets which we made before, and then we continue this work with the highly modified form of the HP40Y and 50Y. So I'm going to share some results of previous experiment which we conducted in our nutrition lab. So you can see over here, this is two diet series which we make. Like HP DDGS, this is high protein. We replaced it with the corn protein concentrate. So 0 to 20% of high protein DDGS we used and replaced gradually the corn protein concentrate. And the other diet series we make like this one, and you can see over here, fish meal, we reduce the fish meal in second series of the diet from 5 to 7, and then we increase the amount of high protein DDGS in that one. So this is the different product from the ethanol industry, as I will talk later about the high protein with yeast in it, and will show you the results of that. So if you see the growth performance, because this is conducted with the shrimp, and over the period of 8-week growth trial in clear water system. So we can see that as this p-values, you can see over here in highlighted form, there was no significant difference in biomass, mean weight, survival, weight gain percentage, FCR, or weekly gain, as we remain consistent in fish meal. But here you can see that when we reduce the fish meal, there is a decrease in the biomass only over here, as this found to be significant value, and FCR is going to be significant. Other are the values which is non-significant, and so we can say that even we reduce this fish meal or we keep it same, there is no like the significant result we found. So this is all overall the same like in all these growth parameters. Next, we have the example of lipid extracted DDGS, the reduced lipids. This is another, I showed you earlier, this is another form of DDGS. So this experiment our lab like conducted with tilapia. So here you can see this series, the soybean meal, this is going to be decreased, and DDGS we are adding up like 0, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So these two diet series, you can see the diet 6 and 7, 40 and 50% of DDGS, in which we added, you can see over here, lysine as essential amino acid, 0.1 over here and 0.2% over here. So this is another formulation for tilapia we make with DDGS, like lipid extracted DDGS. And the growth results are over here. You can see that we found till 40% with lysine, the growth final weight was increased and weight gain was also increased. And survival was also 100% in that one. So this is showing like the results of the addition of the lysine, which worked at 0.1% addition of the lysine. So 40% of DDGS performed well in case of the tilapia. So now comes to the high protein DDGS with yeast, which we are now using in our lab, that is modified form of the DDGS 40% and 50%. So this is the approximate composition which we used in our trial: poultry meal, soybean meal, and HP40Y. We conducted only HP40Y in the catfish, and then we use the HP40Y plus 50Y in our tilapia and our shrimp experiments. So this is our diet formulation for catfish. So we make all our diet isonitrogenous, 32% protein in it and 6.5 lipid in all the diets. Here we make like two series, as you can see over here. This PDG series is poultry based, like animal replacement based series, and this S stands for soybean meal replacement series. So here you can see the poultry meal is going to be decreased from 6 to 0, and the other series soybean meal from 51 to 19. But in this animal based replacement series, like which we use the poultry meal, HP40Y we used from 0 to 9%, and this soybean replacement series we used HP40Y from 10 to 40, like 5 to 40% HP40Y we used in our diet. So this is our diet formulation, and we found the results. I know these are like lot of numbers for you guys to see over here, but I can try to explain this experiment with the catfish. We conducted 10 weeks. So here we can see the weight gain in the poultry based replacement series, which is the animal series, animal based diets, and this is the plant based. So here we see that in this 6% and 9%, the weight gain of the catfish is decreased. And same is the case we found like in the soybean replacement series from 5 to 40%. So in 30 and 40%, we saw the weight gain is decreased in this. Like you can see the value 18.35 and 10.88. And also we found the other parameters like final biomass, final weight, weight gain percentage, total dry feed, FCR survival, and this is net protein retention. So why this weight going to be decreased over here and over here, I can show you in the form of the graph. You can see over here. So this is the weight gain with regard to poultry meal replacement series, and this is soybean replacement. So HP40Y, we can say we can supplement in the diet of the catfish till 20%, because you can see over here till 20% there is no significant difference in all of these numbers, like from 0 to 20. So 30 and 40, it falls down. So why it happens? It is maybe due to the marginal deficiency of the essential amino acid, which we have to add prior to making the diets. So in this poultry meal replacement series, we also saw this trend that it goes down over here, like the 9% when we add the HP40Y, like 9%. So this we found that maybe there is any palatability issue, because at this 9% of HP40Y, we totally replace the poultry meal. It has 0 poultry meal in that diet. So maybe it is a nutritional deficiency or the palatability issue we found in that one. So we can say this one But in this soybean replacement series, till 20% we can use HP40Y, but till 30 and 40% we can go, like we can increase our amount 40 30, but we have to add the additional the supplementation of the amino acid, which is lysine or maybe methionine in that one. So going forward to this like catfish experiment, we conducted another experiment, which is like tilapia experiment. And in this tilapia experiment, we used both our high protein distiller grains with yeast like 40 and 50Y. So you can see over here, again, we made two series with replacement of the corn protein concentrate 12 to 0 in this series, and same we use the HP 50Y from 5 to 20%. And this other series we make like with the HP 40Y, same like 50Y, 5 to 20% amount of that ingredient, which is our HP 40Y and 50Y. So we keep the concentration same, 5 to 20, 5 to 20 in both of these ingredients, and we replace it with corn protein concentrate accordingly to make our diets like balanced with 32% protein in it and the 6% lipid in it. So here are the interesting results as compared to the catfish. Catfish, we found that decreased trend and we found the reason for it. But in tilapia case, we saw that there is no significant difference in all of the growth parameter, which is ranging from final biomass, final weight, weight gain percentage, FCR, survival, and net protein retention. In the above series, like this 50Y series, we, as you can see the p-value over here, all this I highlighted for you guys, there is no significant difference we found. And same in that HP40Y that range from 5 to 20, we didn't notice any significant difference between all these growth parameters. And we also ran the ANCOVA like to see the interaction between these two replaced protein, and we didn't found any significant interaction or the significant difference in all of these parameters. So after conducting these fish experiment, we also tried the HP40Y and 50Y in our shrimp diet. So next comes our shrimp work. Here is the diet formulation which we make, again isonitrogenous for 36% protein for the shrimp and 8% lipid like isolipidic diets for our shrimps. So this experiment we conducted in our nutrition lab, obviously like other experiments. So here again we make the two series with corn protein concentrate replacement. So HP50Y, again we kept the same 5 to 20% and HP40Y 5 to 20% and replace it with the corn protein concentrate. These are the values for making the diet formulation. You can see over here, although there are a lot of numbers over here. So here we also, like in all our experiment, we found very different and obviously interesting results, as you can see from catfish, tilapia and shrimp. So in shrimp case, these are our results. As you can see, the p-value over here, like the p-value is non-significant. So in all these parameters, which we also saw in tilapia, we didn't found any significant difference in all these parameters. And same is the case for HP40Y. We didn't find any significant difference between all of these parameters in the shrimp experiment. So, but here we found something very interesting, which I want to share with you guys. Like these are I know too much numbers for you guys, but if I showed you in the form of the graph, which you can see over here, this is the graph for the weight gain of the shrimp. As you can see, the HP 40, 50Y and 40Y, as the concentration or amount of 40Y and 50Y is going to be increased, like from 5 to 20%, the weight gain is going to be increased like this. In this case, and in also this 40Y uh, ingredient our. So significant, we can say that these, you can see the p values over here. We can say that this is the significant increase in weight gain of the shrimp when we increase our HP 40Y and 50Y, like the amount of inclusion in the diet of the shrimp. So here maybe you can see or have a clear idea of the graphs. So how the shrimp growth is going to be increased with increase of, or the increase, or the, you can say the increase in inclusion level of HP 40Y and 50Y till 20%. So from these all experiments, we have a general conclusion, because we have so many, you can say that this distilled dry grain products or byproducts I showed you, like we conducted so many experiments with this. So we came to the general conclusion, not only the one conclusion that like fit into one experiment or one species. So we have this conclusion that these corn byproducts, which is from the ethanol industry, can be used at moderate level in the diets of shrimp or fish up to 30%, like 20 to 30%, or if you can go higher, like 40, maybe 50, then you can find a decrease, or you have to find a reason why it's going to be decreased. You have to set your all the amino acid level up to the mark so that you can achieve the higher weight gain in case of the shrimp or as well as the fish. So other conclusion, we found that due to difference in nutritional profile and processing conditions of distilled byproducts, they should not be viewed as a generic product. So the inclusion of specific product will depend on the product profile. So what ingredient it is, how much protein content in this one, and what process the company is used like to make this product, to remove all the fiber or to kept fiber in that ingredient, or sometimes you can say that in yeast, which is a good enhancer of the immune system as well as effect on growth, they add or they will not add in that products. So this all depends upon the nutritional profile of the product. And other thing is that these products are generally economical in terms of cost per unit of protein, potentially bring bioactive compounds like yeast byproduct, as I told you earlier, and are reasonably well accepted by most aquaculture species. So this is the thing which we can say that also this DDGS product from ethanol industry is also very like economical as compared to, we can say, the fish meal or poultry meal, even soybean meal. So this is economical as well as they are the good source of protein, and it can give your all the species a good growth. And we will try other species as well, as we worked here in our Auburn University with the warm water species, like you can say the fish, catfish, tilapia, and shrimp. So we conducted different experiments with different products of the ethanol industry. So this is all about or summarized version of my presentation for the DDGS products from the ethanol industry, byproducts, or you can say the co-products in that area of field. So hope you like the presentation. If you have any, like these are my acknowledgements, and the Anderson, which provided us the ingredient like HP40Y and 50Y. And I would like to say thanks to my advisor, Dr. Alan Davis, like who gave me opportunity to like make the presentation and speak over here. So thank you all for listening with me. And if you have any questions, so this is my email address. You can email me at any time. I'll be happy to answer your questions. So please reach out to me if you have any question. So hope you like the presentation. Thank you and hope to see you again.
Bueno,
Okay, unfortunately, Sidra is not going to be with us live, but I see that many of you wrote down her email. And again, if you weren't able to write down her email, if you would prefer that we contact her instead of you, we would be glad to do it. If you have any questions,